Hi guys. This is Kelsey with Igniting Insight. I'm here to do a live reading post new moon check-in. I'm here a little later than I planned. I always announce my lives, at least on my Instagram, and so that you guys can join me. Wow, that's really going. Hi, Sandra. Just lighting my Palo Santo, and I just got home from a long day at work, and it was a lot of busyness, a lot of projects getting kind of thrown at me, and I was really looking forward to doing this live, and like the energy right now feels super calm. Like after having such a busy day, I feel really calm, and just so this will be really interesting. I just wanted to kind of have an intention for the reading today, and I was just driving and meditating a little bit on what I wanted to do, obviously not closing my eyes, but just reflecting. And I wanted to check in with what the new moon brought us, and what might be releasing, what might be beginning. New moons are all about new beginnings. It's very internal work. And I hope the sound is okay. If you're on Instagram, if you could let me know how the sound is, because I'm using the headphone. I think I don't want the cars to be too loud, but I think because I have my AC on, it might be better, less background noise, but that was kind of my idea with it. Yeah, and I don't know, I just kind of want to share a little bit. I don't know, I guess I feel like I've gotten some upgrades, some intuitive upgrades. I have a lot of exciting things I'm doing in August, just personal and professional development. And I really think, the level of service that I'm bringing here is going to be leveling up as well, because that's all connected. So I'm pretty excited for things to unfold. And I love Leo energy. I'm an Aquarius, so Leo's my opposing sign. And I just love the energy. I'm a musician and a creative, and it's all about self-expression, which is really what I'm learning to do in this life. If anyone is familiar with Chiron, Chiron is not necessarily a planet, but I believe it's technically like an asteroid. But it is something that a lot of astrologers use in the chart, and it represents the wounded healer, or the place in ourselves that has the deepest wounds and also the greatest potential to bring healing to others. So my Chiron is in Leo, which is why I say that self-expression is kind of what I'm learning in this life. And yes, we did just leave Mercury retrograde. We're still in the, I think it's called the post-shadow period, where it's still, so there's still a little bit of lingering energy, but it's definitely a shift. Yeah, definitely a shift. So we have some movement, creative movement. And if you watched my last, I kind of want to recommend everyone watch my last weekly reading, because I thought the message that came through was really practical and nice. But that was all about taking committed action. And I didn't realize as I was recording that reading that that we were having this new moon yesterday, and I thought it was kind of interesting how the message was, make sure you're taking action and not waiting around. Whereas the new moon message was kind of more about, new moons traditionally are more about taking time to reflect and taking time to go inward, because it's where the moon is dark. So we're needing to check in with ourselves, and a lot of new ideas and new things can start then, but it's not necessarily the time to start it externally. It's more a time to like go inward and see what it is that you want to start to manifest over the next few weeks or month ahead. So, and then we got the moon card coming out. So I feeling like we have this oh my gosh, my words, interaction between our creative drive and our intuition right now. So really, I'm feeling like this moon kind of, hi Robin, this moon kind of it's initiating some intuitive insights that are bringing us new creative ideas, or just new ideas about what we want to do creatively, whether that's, if you're any sort of entrepreneur, you're automatically doing creative work, right? But if you're any kind of artist, you're doing creative work. And so this is kind of about really using our intuition to guide those movements. And I think that's what this moon is trying to teach us. Yeah, I think he does want to be seen. This King of Cups energy, this is really about being solid in your emotional world. Basically, like, I think a lot of times, I don't think we realize as a collective how much our emotional side of ourselves is often just downplayed. I mean, we are such emotional beings, and obviously we have to temper that in a lot of situations. It's not like we, need to kind of project our emotions onto everyone and everything that we come across, but I really do think there's something to be said for being able to feel your emotions deeply, and being able to express them when it's appropriate, but more so just being in touch with them. This King of Cups character is so in touch with his emotions. He owns them as part of himself. He owns them as part of his, I'm hearing the word legacy specifically. His kingdom is built on this emotional intelligence. And this is the combination. So kings in the tarot, I always like to kind of bring a little bit of an educational piece for anyone that's interested in learning or is learning tarot, or just other readers. But the court cards, where we have the pages, the knights, the queens, and the kings, they all have an elemental energy associated with them, as well as whatever suit. So the kings are the element of earth, which is everything to do with nature and grounding and anything in our physical environment, our physical reality, finances, abundance, things like that. And he's combined with emotion. So I really like the King of Cups, because it's like the merging of the emotional body with like the physical ownership and expression of that. I hope that makes sense. And he goes with the flow. I love that his whole throne here he's just he is floating on the waves completely. He's not tied to anything at all. So I think we're really wanting to let our emotional compass, our intuitive compass guide us right now. Let's see what else comes through. Interesting. Four of Wands reversed. I'm getting this as, fours are about foundation. It's kind of like, I always think about the four corners of a square, or the four corners of a house is like the primary foundation of it. You get more, it's more complex. If you have less, you don't quite have that foundation yet. This is Wands energy again, so it's the creative fire, the same with what's coming through with Leo. Leo is a fire sign, so it's that creative energy and that self-expression. And this card specifically is about kind of, well, it's the marriage card, as you can see, these characters here. But basically what I'm getting, just to keep it general and applicable to more people, is it's not time to settle down yet. There's still a lot of movement happening in all realms of life, in our emotional life, in our creative life. So I think it's important to, well, I'm just going to say, I mean, the intuitive messages that are coming through that I'm hearing is kind of to stay on your toes, to not settle into anything too soon, because things are always shifting and moving. And something that I've learned recently is we can have all of these ideas about what we want to do or what we would like to have. And once we start making progress, once we start taking those actions, like I was talking about in my weekly video reading on YouTube, is that we can actually, we change ourselves. We kind of become a new version of ourselves. And from that place, we get more clarity about what we want next. And sometimes things shift and change. And so what I'm getting with this is just to be flexible. Don't put all your four corners in the ground yet, because things are still changing. And that's always true. It could also be, for some of us, a delay in a partnership or relationship, since this is the marriage card. And so I'm getting, this month specifically in Leo season, to really focus on yourself as a singular being, and because you want to know what you want to know what you're trying to create in your life before you try to go create with somebody else, if that makes sense. Okay, let's see what else we can get. Ooh. Oh my goodness, somebody got lost. Let's see, can I find them? Don't mind me, I'm just looking for cards. Okay, he's lost. I don't know. Oh, I found him. Ooh. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles reversed. So it's really interesting energy right now. And hi, Marilee. I'm just doing a reading for the collective, everyone. So this is general. The Knight of Pentacles reversed. So this is about, okay, I like to explain things upright first. Slow-moving energy in the physical, something coming towards you, but it's taking its time. And reversed, I think, we're really not, let's see, I'm going to get a clarifier for this. The energy is so interesting. The big message, the big thing that wants to come through, that none of the cards are actually saying specifically, but that I'm getting from the combination, is trust. Trust the process, trust the universe, trust God or source, whatever you like to attribute to as being a higher power, or whatever you believe is kind of guiding you, your higher self, whatever it is. It's trusting that, because there's so much that we can't see right now. There's so much coming in that we can't see right now. It's like, take the messages so far. It's like, take start making moves in your creative endeavors. Start doing things that make you feel good. Do things that make you feel joyful, that get you into that Leo energy, which is, you know, playfulness, self-expression, childlike. It's all about the inner child. Let your intuition lead you every step of the way, but don't get too comfortable in any sort of mindset or idea of what might become the foundation for your life, because things are really shifting right now. I don't see that there's going to be that much potential for financial rewards right away for whatever you're doing. If you're doing creative work, I don't think that I'm not seeing with this card that there's going to be any financial rewards are going to be delayed. And that's reinforced here with the Four of Swords, which is about, you know, taking rest, being introspective again, especially, you know, mentally. It's about not getting too chaotic with our thoughts, not trying to push too hard to come up with plans or ideas, but just to kind of let things sit for a minute. And I think this is really, for those of you that have joined recently, I'm specifically looking at kind of post-Leo new moon messages, and feel free to go back and watch the replay if you'd like to. It will be posted on Instagram for a while, Facebook, it will be there, and it'll go on my YouTube as well. Igniting Insight for Everything. You can always find me. But we're looking at we're just doing a check-in, an energetic check-in for after the Leo new moon yesterday. And so I don't think that these energies are necessarily going to last like weeks and weeks. It's going to be kind of like the rest of this week is what this message is for. But yeah, it's really about just waiting and going internal. And that's kind of what the new moons are all about. So we got the High Priestess, which again is all about intuition. She came out, she kind of flipped down, and I didn't feel that reversal that I picked her up as initially. She's about balancing the light and the dark too. So I think some of us could be looking into our shadows a little bit this week, but bringing light to them. And what I mean by that is, you know, looking at things that might still need to be healed or resolved, or things that we're maybe not so proud of, or, you know, bad habits that need to shift. Things like that can all be part of our darkness. And then bringing light to those just means bringing awareness to them, shedding light on them, as in bringing your consciousness, you know, the light is consciousness, to those things. Okay, so I see that I love that people come and go, and it's just a fluid process, and I am just here to deliver the messages. But I'm going to get one last oracle card and close out the reading now. If you are new to me, again, my name is Kelsey with Igniting Insight. I have platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, mostly centered around the tarot and doing readings, but I also do astrology and energy work. And I have private readings available. You can find links on any of my social medias. It's going to be pinned to the top on Facebook. It'll be in my bio on Instagram and linked below all my videos on YouTube. So pretty easy to find. And so what can we get as a final guidance card for moving out of this Leo new moon energy and into Leo season fully? Thinker, 44. And I'm holding it two places because I've got two cameras going here. So I think this is just reiterating the message of reflecting, but I'm actually getting, it's interesting that we get the 44 here. So again, the fours are about foundation. It's about making solid starts and grounding. But we had the Four of Wands reversed before, which I was saying is don't get too comfortable. So as guidance, I think the reminder here is that this is really short-term energy. This message about not getting too comfortable, because things will start to ground in the near future. It just might not be this week, is what I'm hearing. And I think the message here is really interesting because we had a lot of wands energy, which is creativity and the fire energy, and then we had some cups, which is the emotions, and then we only had one swords card, which is the mind and the intellect, and that's what I'm getting with this thinker card, is the mind. So we are actually being called to do a lot of mental reflection. So I think it's like all levels. It's the intuition and the emotional side of, you know, what are we inspired to do? What do we get kind of these inklings about that might be something that we're meant to, you know, work towards or try out, if it's whatever it is, creative idea or project or anything like that. And then taking the action and the movement to like start building on that creatively, but not being worried about the financial return right away. And also really thinking through like, okay, what's the best way to do this? Like, be practical about it, I guess is the message. Be smart about it and do your research. And more so than that, just really, you know, what do you already know? Maybe don't necessarily go out and, you know, spend hours doing research on new things, but take inventory of what you've already learned and start organizing those ideas and that information and those thoughts into patterns and methods and things that can help you start to build on these creative, intuitively motivated ideas. Okay, I hope that all makes sense. I hope this reading was helpful. Thanks so much for those of you that joined live, and if you're watching the replay, I guess let me know. I'd love to know who's tuning in here. You can book a private reading with me always. I will put my link here in Facebook really quickly. And otherwise, I hope to see you all again. And I hope you're having a great day, night, morning, evening, whatever it is for you. And take care. Namaste.